Hello everyone, it's Vicky here today and I'm designing for Pink Fresh Studio. I am starting off today with two pattern papers. I wanted my background to be patterned today. I often use white, but today we're going patterned. And I've got the this paper which has got the numbers on, which is called Fresh Flowers. It's the B side. And this other paper is the B side of Friendly Daisies. So what I'm doing is I want to layer them up on top of each other so that I've got a torn edge at the bottom, and then I've got a piece of plain cardstock at the bottom from my stash, which is a basil cardstock called Rain. So it's a nice sort of teal colour and it goes really well with the papers in the kit. So I'm going to layer up my patterned papers here, just using some double-sided tape there. And they ripped quite nicely. They sometimes you have to manipulate the rip, but I was quite happy first time with how those came out. So I'm just going to stick that down more at the end there so it's secure. And then I've got a nice background. And I've got these two photos of my niece that I just took in quick succession. I caught her face and then she put her hand over her face and said, "No more photos." So I thought that was quite cute that I would use together. So I've ripped the tab off of this envelope here from the tags journaling bits kit, part of the kit, and I'm going to use that along with that edge that's ripped to just bring that pink up above the photos as well, so it looks like a longer strip from top to bottom. And I've tucked the bottom piece underneath the top layer of paper. Okay, so I've also used this journaling piece to layer under the photos. You don't see much of that at the end, but it just adds a little pop of colour each side of the photo. Okay, so I'm just looking at layering this up and how this is going to look. And I want to put this tag here that says Snapshot of Today at the top, so that we've got the tag at the top and bottom and sort of a vertical design going from top to bottom of the page. So I'm just sort of layering some things around, seeing what might work and what might work on here. And I'm sticking sort of to pink, yellow and the sort of teal colour, although there are also some green leaves in there. So I'm just in my pursuit of having a nice vertical design, I'm going to put some down here at the bottom as well, some florals at the bottom. I want to bring all of those colours down, the yellow and the pink, down to the bottom because I've got lots of teal already there. So that's sort of what it's going to look like, and I'm going to start to stick things down. This is quite a simple layer. It sort of came together because in my head I already had an idea of what I wanted to do, and so it didn't take me long to bring it together actually. And I love when layouts are like that. They just come together nice and simply, and exactly how you have them in your head. So that's what happened with this one. So I'm just sticking down these florals, and also as well with this layout, this is exactly as I was making it. Although the layout's speeded up, it's not cut in any places, so it's exactly as I made it. So you can see my process didn't really take a long time. So here I'm pulling out some tissue paper just to put on the back of the photos. I want to add a bit of a layer behind them, but I don't want anything too heavy because I just want the photos to sort of speak for themselves, and they're going to layer over each other as well, so I don't want anything heavy on them. So the tissue paper just adds that little bit of distinction between the photo and what's behind it, but it doesn't detract from anything. Okay, so it's just little rough edges. This is not tidy, neat edges on that tissue paper, but yeah, I'm happy with it. So this is where I cut the tag in half because it's not quite long enough to show out each side when I stagger the photo. So I cut it in half. You can't see that it's cut in half in the middle once I stick it down, but it helps to give me some colour both sides. And I stuck that ripped piece of envelope at the top there as well. Okay, so just sticking things down now still. Mix of double-sided tape, and also I used Scotch tacky glue in a fine liner bottle just for anything that I use glue on. I'm just sort of trying to figure out where I want to put that. I like that little tag that says hold, because it was almost like she was saying hold the photos, so I thought that works pretty good. So I'm going to put some foam on the back of my photos, and this is just double-sided foam which sticks down to the back of the photo, and then I add some glue onto that in order to stick it down, or actually in this case double-sided tape. So there we go. As it's layered, the bottom photo had slightly less foam put on it, so it could layer over the top one. I'm just going to add that tag underneath the photo on the side, and then put my double-sided tape down onto the foam. Okay, they're in position. And now I need to put the flowers back onto the layout and stick those down. So let's start to do that. I love Pink Fresh Florals. They're just gorgeous. I mean, you know, all different shapes. It's not just flower heads. You've got bunches of flowers and different shapes of flowers, and they always work really well, whichever kind of layout you're doing, I feel. Okay, so here we go, more florals going in, being stuck down. Can never have enough of them. I often buy 2 packets of florals from any collection because I know I'll use them. So here we go, so this tag at the top, it had a hole in, so it had to have some thread through it. So I just have some thread in my stash, and I put some in there just to match the thread on the bottom one, really. Okay, so I'm going to put some foam underneath that tag as well, just to stand it off the page a little bit. And I don't do this on camera, but you'll see on the final layout, I do bend over one corner of the tag just to add a bit of extra texture dimension to it. There we go, so I like that. Now I'm going to put some florals up there as well. Of course, love my florals. I'm going to back this first one up onto some foam because it's going to sit on top of the tag slightly. And then the other one will go under the tag slightly, so it doesn't need foam. Okay, and now I'm going to pull out, I was looking to see which alpha I would use, and I'm going to use that pale blue one, but first of all I'm going to stick some of these chipboard flare onto the layout. I love a bit of chipboard flare, and I'm going to choose one in teal, one in pink, and then one that's got a lemon on, because I've got that lemon at the bottom, and so it sort of brings that together. I love how versatile this kit is. If you see my first layout with it, had lots of reds and greens on it, and it looks very, very different to this. And I think that's the beauty of these collections. You can use them for all different types of layouts. Okay, so here's my title coming now. I actually changed my mind on this title a couple times. First I want to put it down here at the bottom and going across, but I think it gets lost on the pattern to teal paper, so I do change my mind and start to move it. So you'll see my process for this as I go. So my title is going to be No Photos. So so this is where I changed my mind. So I think I'm going to put it there and then put photos below. And when I was making this, I felt like the ripped line made it look like it wasn't straight, but actually watching this back on the video, I don't get that impression. It feels straight to me, and I don't really get the impression it looks wonky. So I kind of wish in a way I'd left it like that, but I didn't, and so now I move photos up a little. So I move it up here so that I know it's straight, because there's a grid pattern on that pattern paper, so I can see that it's straight. There we go. So the final thing I do here is I add some enamel dots, I think. Yeah. Oh, just one piece there, just a little heart there, a little star up there, and then I add some enamel dots from the collection just to finish off in sort of tealy colour and the yellow. And that finishes the layout. Upcoming is the final layout. There it is. I hope you enjoyed my process. There are some close-ups for you to take a look at as well. Please do let me know if you have any questions, but I'll link the products I used below in the description for you. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Vicki for Pink Fresh Studio. Bye bye.